So last night, our Jaguars played their third preseason game of the season, and they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 16-15. So let's go ahead and discuss. Now, a lot to take away from this matchup. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the defense, and really some positives is that, guys, this pass rush is looking really good. I mean, for the first time in a while, the Jaguars, really since 2018, they're actually going in there and getting pressure with four people. I know last year the Jaguars really struggled with being able to generate pressure. Really, the only guys out there that could do anything were like Josh Allen, and then Dewan Smoot came out there and did a little bit. But outside of that, I mean, they had to start. Joe Cullen had to start getting creative and start coming up with different like blitz packages to be able to really generate pressure on a quarterback. And a lot of that is because the Jaguars added Trayvon Walker. He's been a great force on the Jaguars defense. It looks like Josh Allen has taken this play to another level. I mean, he was a beast this game. He was really generating the most pressure. Granted, they weren't able to like really bring the quarterback down from any sacks, but they got the hardest part done, and that was actually getting in the backfield and affecting him. A couple other guys is that, look, like Arden Key has been a really good free agent addition. He only signed here on a 1-year, $4 million deal. I don't know how he slipped through the cracks. I mean, teams are always trying to find pass rushing guys. And I mean, from the way this guy is playing, I mean, he's just going in on kind of pass rushing sets. I mean, this guy could come away with double-digit sacks the way he's playing in this preseason. Just every game from the Raiders to the Browns to this one, he's been able to go in there and generate a lot of pressure. I mean, he's been an absolute beast. And also, Dewan Smoot is having a really, really strong preseason. I mean, when you add these different guys together, then you also add in Roy Robertson-Harris has been doing good. Foley Fatukasi is another guy. I mean, this D-line and this pass rush, I mean, it could be a really special unit. And if you can generate pressure on a quarterback, pressures start to happen, and then that leads to turnovers. And then if you get a lot of turnovers and you win the turnover differential, you start getting some W's in that win column. So that's what a big thing to kind of look out for. The secondary, it was tough to judge the secondary because, look, at cornerback, both Chris Claybrooks and Trey Herndon were playing because Shaquille Griffin and Darius Williams were out. And then they had a couple catches on Trey Herndon, but I thought Campbell had a pretty good game. Got a really good hit on Pickens. Now, Deontay Johnson had a really good game. He kind of went off against us, but the Jaguars were able to hold down Pickens for only 2 catches. Pickens had a really good game last week, but the Jaguars were able to like hold him down really well. Some other things, I'll kind of go into the offensive side. I really like the defense outside of the 2-minute drive by Pickett toward the end of the game, or toward the end of the half. The starting defense played really well, and I don't have too many complaints about them on that end. Trevor Lawrence. Now, when I came away from this game after watching it live, I thought, being quite frank, I thought Trevor Lawrence had a bad game. I went back and watched it today, and I think I was a little too critical of Trevor Lawrence. I think some of the plays that I highlighted most in my head were just some tough throws on third down. He threw his first pass kind of behind Zay Jones. He overthrew Kirk on a deep ball he was actually pretty covered. So even if it was a good throw, I don't know if it would have been completed. And then on 2 different third downs, he overthrew Christian Kirk on the same out route, and just overthrew him toward the sidelines when he was open. So, but outside of that, I mean, Trevor Lawrence did a lot of good things, man. Several good third down pickups. He was really elusive in the pocket when it comes to sensing pressure and getting out of there and running. He also had a pretty nice throw to Marvin Jones on the sideline, which kind of threaded right over the cornerback. And I even put out on Twitter, was this a really good throw, or did he get lucky that it wasn't picked? And everyone kind of went crazy over it. I'm just asking, okay? But it was a good throw. I mean, he threaded it. He layered it, is the football term. He layered it over the cornerback. So, I mean, really, Trevor, this game, got to learn how to hit those out routes to Kirk, but I don't know how much is timing or what it is. But Trevor, overall, it was a good game. I was impressed going back and looking at some of the throws he made. He made some throws that the wide receiver was contested, but still got it there, and they made the catch. So hopefully, just Trevor and this offense continue to move forward. Hopefully, they play again next week, because I do think that these live reps are really valuable for Trevor and just the rest of the offense in general. Wide receivers. Now, I am really impressed with the wide receiver group, and not only just a group, it's a lot different from last year, just because, look, these route concepts are really good. Like, the coaching staff is scheming these wide receivers open. How many times last year was I sitting here like, these guys are running terrible route trees, they're not getting schemed open, scheme these guys open, do something, draw it up. And this year, or this preseason, guys are running wide open. They were like wide open guys to throw the ball to. And it's not like this wide receiver group, it's not like they're running a lot better routes than last year. It's just the coaching staff is doing their thing. And it also, we added a couple good players. Christian Kirk, first game in a Jags uniform, looked really good out there. Some just critical, really good. He was running open, had some good receptions. It was nice seeing Christian Kirk out there. Also looked pretty speedy. Jamal Agnew was back. I don't know how many snaps he played, but he might have only played like one snap. But they went in there, they gave it to him on a bubble screen, and he picked up some yards, and he kind of got out. Chenault, oh my gosh, Chenault looked like a disaster this game. Dropped a punt, was able to recover, caught another punt, and looks like he's running with bricks attached to his feet. He's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with this guy. He probably makes the team because really there's not a lot of players that are threatening the like, no like Kevin Austin Jr.'s or anybody knocking on the door to try to make this team. Maybe Tim Jones. Tim Jones had a good game, but I don't know. I don't think Chenault gets cut, but it's a weird one with him. It really is. Some other things, ETN I thought was really good this game. A lot of people, and again, look, a lot of people are talking about putting ETN in bubble wrap after the first game. I didn't think he played very well the first game, but this game followed his blockers, ran really well in between the tackles. I thought this was a really good game for ETN, a much improved game, at least from the way I see it. Snoop Connor also got better. I was critical of Snoop Connor the last couple games, but he had some good runs in there. Right tackle, there's very few true competitions on this team. Right tackle is a real competition between Jawan Taylor, Walker Little. Before the season, I was saying, okay, Walker Little, hands down, he's going to win that job. But if you look at this game, Jawan Taylor played a lot better than Walker Little. Jawan Taylor was kind of holding down TJ Watt. And then once Walker Little got in there, Trevor got pressured for the first time and got hit. Granted, look, TJ Watt might be the best like 4-3 defensive end in football right now. But Jawan Taylor was able to just hold him down a lot better than Walker Little did. So Jawan Taylor at this point probably wins that job. And Jawan Taylor stays healthy. He's never missed a game. So, if he wins this job, I wonder if at any point outside of injury, if he ever gives it up. We'll see. I mean, I think the coaching staff was pulling for Walker Little just because Jawan Taylor is in a contract year. He'll be a free agent next year. But we'll see kind of what happens in that. And I'll be honest, guys, I thought the Jaguars went into the red zone, and it was really lame what the coaching staff did in the red zone. They had 2 runs to Snoop Connor, and then they go to like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. And then on that play, they do a play action, which, look, the whole defense knows you're not going to run it. They know you're not going to go run, 3rd and 5 run. So they do a play action. They basically run Christian Kirk and Snoop Connor to the same side of the field. They basically washed them out. And on the other side of the field, you have 3 guys running to the same spot. I thought from the coaching staff, I mean, they've been doing a good job, but I thought the red zone, I don't know if they were trying to test out Snoop Connor and really try to see if, because James Robinson, we know he'll be able to probably pick up a first down one of those plays. But maybe they see, okay, Snoop Connor, can you do it? And then it just kind of ruined a potential touchdown drive, which was kind of annoying, but whatever. Now, injury-wise, the Jaguars, and look, it's funny because I am Mr. Play these guys. I don't care about the bubble wrap. These guys need reps. But also, when these guys go down, I'm the most concerned person about them getting hurt. This time, Fatukasi went down a little bit scary, but then he was actually wanting to come back in the game, but Peterson wanted to hold him out for precautionary purposes. And then also Travis Etienne, like he got tackled on playing and had a little hobble and then ran back to the sideline. Never returned, but apparently he's good to go. So again, the Jaguars escape injury. Another thing I want to talk about is Ryan Santoso. The kicking, the dude was 2 for 4 on kicks and missed the game-winning kick. It was almost, EJ Perry threw an interception when they could have almost won the game. It was almost good that he did this because it led to Ryan Santoso being able to put the team on his back and win the game for the Jaguars. And the kick was embarrassing. It was a bad kick. So I don't know what the Jaguars are going to do at kicker, man. I don't. I mean, I'm all about bringing Matthew Wright back and maybe having Logan Cook and Matt Wright split kickoffs. I don't know, man. It's just I don't want to lose games because of kicking. I don't, and it's just amazing, guys. There's 32 kicking jobs in the world, and it's hard to find a kicker. I guarantee you Ryan Santoso can go out to a high school practice field, hit 3 30-yarders in a row, then go back to and hit 3 40-yard kicks, hit 3 50-yard kicks, and probably go 2 for 3 from 60 yards. But, when it comes to being in these games where all eyes are on you, these guys, they just fold. And Ryan Santoso, I don't know. They're going to have to do something. I don't know what's going, I'm not seeing what kickers are out there that's going to be cut. But I don't know if the Ravens have a guy or I don't know. I don't know. It's tough, but that's one thing to look at. Now one big takeaway that I came away from this game with, and I wanted to kind of share it with you guys because when it comes to how the Jaguars are going to do in 2022. I think the biggest thing that is going to hold the Jaguars back is Trevor Lawrence. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because going into the season, I thought maybe the wide receiver group was going to hold this team back. But the wide receivers are actually looking good. These guys are getting open. Last year, wide receivers were holding us back for a couple reasons. One, it didn't seem like we had the talent there. And number two, the coaching. Like, the coaching was bad, so how can you get better from having bad coaching? You can't. How can the offense get better if they already have a scheme in place? If the scheme stinks, that's the scheme the whole year. I thought maybe the offensive line was going to hold us back, but I say this because, look, Trevor Lawrence, it seems like a lot of things around him are good enough for him to be like, okay, do you want to take your play to the next level and play at that, top 10, top 15 quarterback level? Because if he does, it seems like a lot of things are in place when it comes to he has the protection so far. The guys are like running open. The running game, I think, is going to be pretty good. The defense, we're getting pressure with 4 guys. Like the team is getting like pressure on a quarterback. It seems like this team might be able to generate some turnovers. So really, what's going to take this team over the top? How are we going to sink or swim on this team? It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Look, if Trevor Lawrence performs, and this is extreme hyperbole, and this probably is going to happen, but if he performs at a top 5 quarterback in the NFL level, we're winning the AFC South. I mean, it's that simple. But if he's kind of middling and is like top 20 quarterback, and he's kind of sitting there like fighting with, I don't know, like whoever, Kirk Cousins, whatever, if he's kind of sitting in that range and, he's not making those out routes on third down throws to Christian Kirk, or, we have these 2-minute drives and, he doesn't go through his progression right and throws to the wrong guy. And when there's a guy running open deep, that's going to be the thing. So yeah, I mean, and I think that's good. I think it's really good that, look, that the main thing that could hold us back is like just Trevor Lawrence's play, because look, if we don't have the dudes out there, and this is also the number one thing that's going to hold us back is if the injury bug hits us. But if that stays constant, if that stays good, then that's kind of my takeaway, is that, look, like, Trevor Lawrence can really help decide how great this team is, because it feels like so far, I mean, we got some dudes around him, and I'm actually been pretty impressed with just how the defense is playing and how the wide receivers are running open. And, I'm excited to see how Peterson's offense looks once the regular season actually starts, because look, like, we're not throwing the ball to tight ends at all in the preseason, and like that's a big part of, you know, Doug Peterson's game and play styles. He likes to get the tight ends involved. So I don't know. I'm excited. So we only have 3 weeks until week 1. Can't come here quick enough. Let me know what your guys' thoughts of the video are. I know, look, I came away from the game being like, Trevor Lawrence wasn't good, and I rewatched the game, and I thought I was gonna list off ways that Trevor Lawrence is bad, but he was actually kind of impressive when I rewatched it. So we'll see. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Go Jags.
Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars. Too much for your crew to handle. Keep it lit, and this is the #1 YouTube channel by UCF Jaguar. Yeah, we about to blast off. If you've been a fan, then this is the dopest platform. Yeah, never hold back. Gotta represent for the teal and black.